Hi guys, I'm back with another video. So it is currently 1:03 in the morning at the time this video is done. So we're going to be talking about book publishing being another form of fast fashion and my decision to curb my publication. Wanting to press that button and publish that book to kind of live by what my personal beliefs as an author and as somebody who consumes this media. So one of the things that I have noticed over the past couple of years is authors that are being pushed and being forced to sit down as soon as the book is finished and sent off to the editor and all that jazz. They have to write the next book. They're not given breathing room, they're not given time, none of that. They are just already they're writing the next book. This could be considered sweat house or like a sweatshop but in someone's home and they can eat things. So I have made the decision as an author that I am only going to publish two more books this year, and both of them are done. And that is Death Screams for Ice Cream and another one. Sweet Death. A Sweet Death. That's the name of it. The reason for this, so for a total amount, I will have published 5 books. No, 6 books. So Final Page of Murder, A Peachy Death, The Dragon Queen, Death of the PTA, Death Screams for Ice Cream, and A Sweet Death. So those are six books, and I have decided I'm going to stop there for the year, and then what I will go ahead and do is I will go ahead and not really be concerned about next year, but just more focus on just separating myself. Yes, I will work on the Pythia's Fatal Prophecy, which I will be publishing sometime in May. But I just feel like that I really need to thoroughly decompress and thoroughly get my mind off of publishing. Now, next month, I will have to get Grammarly, the premium edition, and I will have to do that. But I think that when you have authors that are just consistently pumping out books and stuff like that, and the thing is, we don't know if those books are any good. And I think when we talk about authors that bring out, I know one author brought out, I think, 15 books in 2 years. That is absolute insanity. That is like, okay, I'm seriously going to downgrade or to totally not publish a bunch of books. Like, yes, I'm publishing 6 books, but those are either done or published. And then, of course, I have to jump in next month and start working on Murder on the Menu. But I'm going to really take my time with it and not be concerned about, oh, I need to get this done to get published in January. I'm not concerned about that. I'm not concerned about publication date. I'm not concerned about Grammarly, about Canva, none of that type of stuff. What I am very concerned about is ensuring that I'm producing the best product that I can possibly produce. And it is so important for people to understand that just because you like to consume it doesn't mean that it's good for your body, and definitely not good for your mind. And I have noticed something really odd about authors. I really have noticed, and I'm gonna go right. I'm gonna say this. I am gonna do a rant about Rick Riordan, or to that, I have done a rant about Rick Riordan. I just did not upload it. I will upload in the next video. Probably later on today, because it's like 1:09 right now, and I'm starting to get tired. But one of the things that I have noticed is that people are addicted to cheap things with books that are probably not any good, and you really kind of look at that and go, okay. It's just, if you go and look at the quality of books, or from, like, say, the 1980s, these books were probably published a couple of years apart. And the reason for that was so that the author would have breathing room. And that is one of the huge reasons that I'm scaling back on publishing a lot of the completed manuscripts, because I want to have that breathing room, time to go back and to just reread it and just make sure that this is good, maybe add some changes to it, things like that. But when I sit down and I write what it's about, and I list all the characters that are going to be in the book, like, when you do a second book, you can update your Bible. And you can update your Bible to where, okay, this is what's going on with the character at this point. And it's so important. It is so important for authors to have that time to decompress, which is why I've not been working on that one book. But you have to give authors time to decompress. That way they can enjoy their break, and they can sit down and write the next book. When you go and you're pushing these authors to write the next book as soon as the previous one is done, they will get burnt out. They will not want to write, and all that stuff. But we have got addicted to stuff come to us very quickly, and yeah, it's just sad. It really is sad, and it's like, I don't even know, like, what to do. It's like, yeah, I mean, I had this vision of having like 8 or 9 or 10 books on the shelf in 1 year, but I had to sit back and be like, is that really healthy for me as an author? Okay, why can't I just not write a book for 4 months? Why do I have to constantly be in front of the computer, constantly writing books? Now, in that particular vein, I do plan on to write a series of young teen detective stories. these are all not even going to be a novella. These are all going to be short story, like a short story format, only available on Kindle. But that series is years away. That is not something that I will be publishing in the next 5 years or 10. Well, no, I'm not going to wait 10 years to publish it. But I'm going to actually write like 12 of them, and then I will release the first one in January, going all the way into December. So literally, it's going to be like you proofread. I got dry skin. You proofread, and you do the cover, and then you just leave it alone, and then you write the next one and all that. But that's going to be something that's going to be several years away from now. Not something that I'm going to be doing this year or next year. I just don't have the time. I just don't have the energy. And I definitely, tonight, I don't have the energy in that thought. But that is my issue with it. Yes, I already said, yeah, I'm going to do a series of young teen detective stories that are all going to be on Kindle. But I made it clear it is not going to be this year. It's not going to be next year. It may not even be the year after next. You just have to wait and see. Because I have to make the characters, and I have to build the world, and all that type of stuff. And I just, for this year and next year, I'm just not going to have the time. But that's the thing that really, aggravates me about some of these authors. They fall into the trap of, and I think it has a lot to do with that they feel like they're indebted to these publishing houses. Like, oh, I'm indebted to them for allowing me to become an author. Well, you could have just gone self-publishing. And I also think that, what doesn't help is the stigma that is associated with self-publishing. Because authors that are in this trap of constantly producing content, they look down at authors that have all this freedom, and they be like, oh, you think you're better than me? Yeah, I am actually better than you, because I'm not sitting in front of my computer typing away. And even the series I was talking about, maybe 60 pages long. It's not going to be this big thing, but it's going to be my first foray into young adult mysteries with a girl, and I do it in the spirit of Nancy Drew. Not copying, but spirit of Nancy Drew. So I just feel like that there's this kind of thing. And what I see what's going to happen in next year, if the TikTok ban is declared constitutional, those authors that got in the gate before the ban are going to be able to continue to profit off of their books. But the people that missed out on the gate are going to be locked out, and they're going to have to get a publisher, an agent. They're going to have to do this, they're going to do that. You're not going to have the same kind of power. And also the thing is how what I'm looking at it is, people are going to be like, what do I do now? Well, self-publish your book. Self-publish your book. Go and use social media to get your book out there, even though it won't be TikTok. but yeah, and it is, it's just, it's something, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. But we get low quality books. We get low quality books because the public is used to low quality as a whole. We get, they go and um, they target authors that are part of minority groups, and they give them book deals. And this is the thing that I'm really concerned about, as just not just as an author, but as a devourer of this particular kind of media. You're going to have people that are going to get on there and are going to give these books 1-2 star, and going to say, okay, I read this book on Kindle, or I checked it out from the library as a Kindle edition, and I will tell you the book is not good. The book is horrible. And what is going to happen, and I can know this is going to happen, it so far has not happened, and I pray to God it is not going to happen. But you are going to have people that are actually going to read the book, and they're going to say, this book was god awful. The plot made no sense. The characters made no sense. What was there? They're going to write this very detailed review of the book. And as soon as people find out what color their skin is, they're going to come out and say, well, you're a racist for not liking this book. And literally, the whole idea of honest reviews is literally going to be like, well, I honestly did not like this book. I thought this book was not worth the paper it was printed on, but I don't dare give it a bad review, because if I give it a bad review, if I give it a honest bad review, I'm going to be considered a racist. And this is the thing. You need bad reviews to become a better author. Because, and as much as people claim, well, I'm not hired by the publishing company to help you with your book, you are helping them with their book when you give a review. So for me, like, I'm not the only one. Sophie Taylor there's more often than not, she doesn't get reviews for her books. And there are people out there, they'll just do like, oh, it was 3 stars, and they leave it at that. I'm one of those people. I will very rarely ever give a review. Like, I gave a review for Monster Blood for breakfast. And I gave a review because I honestly did in fact love the book. I've been reading banned books, and I have given wonderful reviews. Like, I'm currently reading The Lord of the Flies. Right here. I'm reading it because it's a banned book. It's been banned in multiple school districts. I'm reading the literary classics. And the thing is, when I give a literary classic a review, somebody thumbs it up. They like, I love that review. I think that review is really good. But I think that we're going to still be influxed with bad books because people cannot help themselves. They see that they go and they see that the book is written by a marginalized person. And they buy it because they want to support them. And I am all for supporting marginalized authors. Do not get me wrong, or don't think whatever. But I am all for supporting marginalized authors. But if those author book or author's book is bad, if the plot doesn't make sense, if the characters are too shallow, if I don't like how the flow of the story and stuff like that, I'm going to get on Goodreads and I'm going to give them a very honest review. And it's going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 paragraphs of review. And yes, I will make sure it's hidden because of spoilers. But I will be very thorough in my review of it. And the difference I think with here compared to Goodreads is because I deal primarily in mysteries, especially cozy mysteries, I really don't give a lot away because I don't want to ruin it for somebody that may want to read it. But if your book is god awful, if your book is not worth the paper it was printed on, or worth the file space that it was created so that I could read it, I'm going to give an extremely honest review. And this has nothing to do with the color of the author's skin, or their nationality, or their ethnicity. If your book sucks, I'm going to say it fucking sucks. I mean, literally, if you don't like honest reviews, if you don't like 11 paragraphs of review of your book, and I'm literally dissecting this book, I'm literally like, oh, okay, I'm going to write a note about that. So I'm going to write notes about it. I know, like, I did a review of one of them. I can't read from here because, first of all, it's like early in the morning. I actually said that this book was a masterclass in literature. And I felt emotions from this book, and I got a thumbs up for it. But yeah. So it depends. It all depends. If I'm reviewing mysteries, I'll review mysteries. And I will give honest reviews of mysteries, or of horror, or of fantasy, or science fiction, or whatever. I will do that because I just feel like that I have to do that. I have to give you an honest review. But yeah, quality has gone down. It is all part of people's taste nowadays. They don't believe in fine literature. They don't believe in good literature. They look at a cover. They look at the blurb. They buy the book. They buy the book for many different reasons. They buy it because the author is a member of a targeted minority. So they want to support that author. I'm like I said previously, I'm all for you supporting targeted minorities because I think their voices are important. And that's just not just as me being an author, but me as being a human being. But we also have Rick Riordan, who's consistently bringing out a book a year, and even J.K. Rowling. I know people don't like her, and I understand that. But there are like J.K. Rowling. She could not keep up with a book a year, and that's perfectly okay. If you're an author and you're writing a book a year, or like you have a particular series that you're always going to bring out a book a year, after a while you're not going to be able to do that because either you had a death in the family, or you got into a car accident, or you were in a fire, or whatever, or like you decide to take some of that money and go back to school to get a degree, or whatever reason it is that you have for why you were unable to finish that book. And it just seems like to me that that I don't really know if we're seeing it now with his work, but after a time I think we are going to see it. We're going to see that he's not producing quality books like he used to. And then, of course, and this is my own personal opinion, his books have not aged well. They have not aged well. And I think that's why when you have literary classics like Fahrenheit, Fahrenheit, I forgot the temperature, or Lord of the Flies, or what's it, Grimm's fairy tales, things that are considered to be high quality literature. Those, because it's high quality literature, um, Slaughterhouse 5, I believe it is, high quality literature. This is literature that keeps its condition, its quality, its whatever throughout the decades. But if you got authors that are New York Times bestsellers, and in 40 years, yeah, when I'm in my 80s, when you read back those books and go, oh my lord, I don't like this book anymore, it kind of tells you that, yeah, those books are not going to be literary classics. They're going to be books that you read once or twice, and they're just going to gather dust in your wherever. But it's a sad state of literature today. And that was why I, as an author, made the decision that the 2 books that I have completed already, that all they need to be is put their Grammarly and get a cover. Those are going to be the final 2 books that I am publishing for this year. I am not going to publish any more books after November. I will start back up publishing on January 1st when I publish Clock Strikes Death, or Clock Strikes Murder. And I definitely will have 2 books already finished, and that's going to be Murder on the Menu and the Dragonflame. Now Death at the Baskervilles is going to probably be coming out like towards the middle part of the year, and then of course we have the one coming out next year in September, which is going to be a Sunday Kind of Death. So I'm publishing, as I said, I'm publishing about see here, Clock Strikes Death, probably same number, probably 6 books. But yeah, so just really kind of really limiting like how many books I actually publish and all that jazz. So anyways, I'm going to end here. I've been talking too much. Later on I will upload that Rick Riordan rant that I did yesterday, and I still have those 2 fairy tale reviews or discussions to upload. I will get that done today. I do have one fairy tale, so at the end of that one particular one, I say, oh yeah, unlike yesterday, just ignore that. I'm going to do the review. I don't know, I think it was the boy who set out to find fear. I don't know. I forget the name of it. But, yeah. So, I will see you guys around. Today and tomorrow is my last 2 days of my vacation. I really hope and pray that I will get my schedule for next week, because I really do need to get back to work. So I will see you guys around.